Hey everyone, I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very nice day. Today I'm going to show you a bit of an update slash operation on these two little ponds that we have over here. This one and that one over there. I thought today I'll be shooting indoors. This is the location where I keep them. This is my desk and you can see the LED light that I have over there. Bonsai book. Dusty corner. But yeah, you can see that you can very well keep these indoors, and it's really easy to keep them. So this is I think the original micro pond that I worked on months and months ago. One of the very popular videos on my channel, and you know, coincidentally, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you will be really helping me out if you did. I post videos like this regularly. If you like to see videos on moss, aquariums, terrariums, you know, I intend to upload more and more videos about that. So anyway, like I was saying, this is the original, yeah, micro pond. I found this little container. This is, you know, a little bigger than an ashtray, really, and I don't know what these are used for, but I thought this would be a really, if it worked, it would be a really cool idea to have like a micro pond and you know, a little aquatic plants and whatnot. So you can see in the original build that that's what we were going for, and it has worked very well. You can see that the moss is now thriving there. That little Bucephalandra that I planted, it's completely adapted to living outside of the water and on that little cliff that we have there. So yeah, I really like this. You know, over the course of the weeks and months, I've been running out of space really in my desk because of the other builds that I've created. But this one I just don't want to get rid of. You know, I think it's really cool. The other day I was working on it, and I left it on my dining table. Anyway, visitors came over and they saw it and they were completely enamored by it. You know, they really loved it. They were asking me questions about it, and yeah, it's really cool. You can see that these ferns were not part of the original build, but the spores came in the little moss that we planted. So that's, you know, that's nature for you, right? Nature finds its way. Jurassic Park quote. So anyway, I'm gonna set the camera down and we can start working and getting rid of a couple of the old libs that we have here, and yeah, we can see what we're gonna do. Okay, so we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of water. Yeah, I think that's the main downside to this micro builds. You have to constantly replenish the water that just evaporates. Yeah, and if you don't have time, if you constantly are absent from your home, that could be a bit annoying, you know. But if not, if you like to come back and check your builds every day, that's absolutely no problem for you. I'm just gonna uncover this so we can do this faster. But yeah, of course it's going to need no water. So the first thing that we do is replenish this. And this is actually rainwater. We've been having scattered rain over the past couple of days over here. And so this is very good for plants. These plants that I have over here that look like little miniature reeds, these are Eliocharis. This is an aquarium plant that can also grow immersed. So we can see that we got a couple of little leaves here that are dead, or at least the tips are dead. And that's because in the past I failed to water properly. This little build was dry for like a couple of days, and so that's why the tips are damaged. So what I'm doing now is I'm pruning part of the leaves so that the moss can get all the light that it can get. Yeah. So if I can see, so if I can see that there are dead leaves that I can remove, those are the ones that I remove first. Yeah. There we go. So like I said, watering is important. Let's see, over here on the left side we have some more. And we remove those as well. Oops, I didn't prune that one. You see that my hands are a bit jittery. It's because I just had a huge cup of coffee. So sorry about that. So yeah, it's really easy, you know. You could say this is micro landscaping. So it's kind of fun, for me at least. If you love plants, I guess it could be entertaining. Or even relaxing for some of you. Yeah. There we go. Over here, we can see that we have these, well, they're on the back side, these Hydrocotyle leucocephala plants. And underwater, we can see that we've got several Sagittaria plants. This little biofilm that we have here, it's due to the watering that we just did, you know. In this little build I have livestock, a couple of snails that actually feed on this little biofilm, so I'm not too worried about that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this around so we can do the same thing with the little plants that we have over here. Yeah. There we go. So I'm going to do the same with these yellow leaves that we have from this little Hydrocotyls. I mentioned before that this is a type of pennywort plant. And it's really, really cool. I really like the shape of it. And it grows very, very well in ponds, in aquariums. You can keep it as an aquarium plant. Or just as a house plant, you know. I'm also going to remove this one over here, the lower one. There we go. And you can see that the moss over here on this side, it's also growing. Granted, a little bit slower than the one we have at the front, but it's there, right? Over here we can see a very good example of what happened when the moss completely established itself over the rock. This is a little fern that's growing because it found a suitable environment for the little spore to grow in. I didn't plant these, you know, no, this one or this one over here. You can't see, but let me just pick up the camera. I didn't plant this one or this one over here. Didn't plant any of that. They just grew by themselves, yeah. And so I think that's really, really cool. It's really neat, and it's you know, just a definite proof that your build is successful. Make sure it keeps it going. Yeah. Okay. So the last thing that I'm going to do for this little guy is I'm going to prune this little rotala here. You can see the shape of the immersed leaves. So I'm actually going to prune it heavily. There we go. And then I'm going to come in and divide this into two. Yeah. So those cuttings that I just got are going to be planted in the front. You can see here this little Bacopa or baby tears plant. That's what I did with the one that we have at the back. I pruned it and I planted the cuttings. So we're going to do the same thing with this Rotala red plant. We're going to plant it over here. And the other one we're going to plant over here would be nice. There we go. Let's see if you can see. I don't think you can see it very well. It's over here and the other one over there. Over here, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it for this little guy. Let's move this out of the way and take a look at the other one, right? Here we go. And here we have our second build for the day. This is the beautiful container that I received as a gift from my girlfriend. And you can see that it's in a different stage of development, but it's, you know, just as with the previous one, it's doing very, very well. You can find this in my channel as a micro or mini indoor pond with water lilies. And you can see that the little water lily here is doing very well. It's covering a big part of the surface of the build, but you know, that's what we did it for, right? Oh look, mosquito larvae. I might have to borrow my betta fish from a larger tank so I can demolish all of those little larvae. We can see a water lily leaf growing over here, beautiful and shiny. And over here we also have a different type of hydrocotyl. This is called Hydrocotyl Japan or Hydrocotyl tripartita or tripartita. This actually came in a little bag of fish that I bought. It came as a little floating little bit of plant, and I just put it here and it started to grow. Yeah, it started to like the water and the light, so it just grew and grew. Over here we can see what I did in the previous build as well. A little bit of moss planted on top of the rock. This right here is a different kind of moss. Yeah, let's see if it ticks and how it does after a while. Over here we can also see that I've got a couple little snails, and actually, because we have more water available in this build, I also have a shrimp. It's running around there somewhere. I might show it to you, but yeah, I'm gonna place the camera down and I'm gonna do a couple of things with this little guy. Yeah, so here we go. So one of the downsides of adding lots and lots of plants is that sometimes you get stowaways. In this case, look, I got this little hair algae that came with the Heliocharis, and I have to manually remove it just so it doesn't overrun the whole tank, yeah, the whole build. A couple of hairs here and there. Yeah, but we have them. We can also see that I used the Heliocharis and the Rotala red over here, and they're growing nicely. I also used a plant, it's the Ludwigia atlantis. This is a plant that I also use for the Neon Tetra build from previous videos. Hair algae over here. Sorry, the water lily leaves is making this a bit hard. But the good thing is that because this is the initial stages of, oh, look at this huge chunk. Initial stages of hair algae. It's easy to remove. I will eventually have to use, some sort of algae remover. But in the meantime, I can resort to manual extraction. I really want you guys to see the little shrimp. It's one of those cherry shrimps, but it looks really, really cool. In this build, you know, it just looks so natural. I know it's completely unnatural just by the selection of the plants, but I just really like to see it enjoying life, you know, in its little home. So we remove most of it, and that's pretty much it. Just as with the previous one, I also have to be constantly filling this up with water. But that's all the maintenance that I have to do, really. This is really, really easy to take care of, easy to upkeep and maintain. So if you really like this, you should give it a try. I mean, if you like plants and terrariums, aquariums, whatnot, give it a try. You might be surprised with the results. Yeah. Let me pause the video and try to find the little guy that we're looking for, okay? So, see you in a bit. I'm terribly sorry, my friends, but I just couldn't find the little guy. And it was here just a couple of minutes ago. But you can see that there are little caves and little crevices where it can hide. So I'm going to leave you with this little image of the build. You know, the underwater part and the moss that has been planted on top. And just to give you an idea of what this little guy looks like. Over here we have another little aquarium. You've seen this one before, and you know, over there we have one of the little, one of the little shrimps that I put in that micro pond. Yeah. So, very curious little creatures. Yeah, so in the future I might add more to this little guy over here. Yeah. So I hope you really like this video. If you have any questions, comments, doubts, anything, drop them down below. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.